Mr Chair.
Honourable Heather Roy.
Thank you, Mr Chair. I will take a moment to respond to some of the concerns that have been raised this afternoon, and I hope the member who has just sat down is happy with the Roy that is on their feet. I'll start with the comments that have been made around democracy. The Green member Sue Kedgley said that this bill is an attack on democracy, and in fact some of the Labour Party members have also made that accusation. You can only have an attack on democracy, Mr Chair, if students are prevented from joining a student association. And in fact, the bill, if the members choose to read it carefully, is about voluntary membership, as all students should have the right to in a free and fair society. Nobody should be forced or compelled to pay a fee to join an association. They should not be forced to join an association in order to be able to study, and that's the situation we have at the moment. This bill, in fact, just goes back to the original intent of students' associations when they were first formed, to be voluntary organisations. They were not compulsory, Mr Robertson, when they started, and we are taking it back to the original intent. There was some commentary from the member Jacinda Ardern about communication with members. In fact, we've seen appalling communication with members of students' associations with their membership of late, and incorporated societies decide for themselves what information, in fact, is given. And so the clauses that she was promoting in the name of the member Grant Robertson are not indeed necessary, because incorporated societies will decide for themselves what information is communicated with members and how democratic elections will be run. There have also been some comments around the transitional provisions in this clause 9. If a concern is that the transition time now is too short, the Labour members need only to look at their own behaviour over the past 8 months. And they can say all they like that it's a silly thing to say, but in fact everybody in this House and in fact the public know that that is exactly the case. They have lobbied long and hard for referenda to be put in place, for the students to be able to decide for themselves through referenda. And when that happens, Mr Chair, we need only to look at the Auckland University example. When a referenda happened, the organisation became voluntary in 1 month. And in fact, we have several months yet before these provisions will come into being. They will come into being. And in fact, by the time students return for the beginning of the academic year, there will be an additional 2 to 3 months before the invoices need to be paid for their student organisation fees. The last point that I would like to make while I'm on my feet, Mr Chair, is discussions with the NZUSA. I think it was Mr Shearer who noted that the students' associations were keen to talk. In fact, we've talked on a number of occasions, quite a handful in fact. And the last discussions that I had with the co-presidents of the NZUSA, I left things in their hands. They were adamant that, in fact, there was too short a time frame to put this in place, both for the organisations and the student councils. And so I left it with them to get back to me with written information about the detrimental effect that this would have on students' associations collectively and individually, and with the councils. And so far, this meeting happened about 3 weeks ago, Mr Chair, and so far I have heard nothing, not a word from them. And that letter went to National Party members, but not to me, the Active Party, or the Active Party members. And so if the students' associations, if the NZUSA was absolutely serious about amending that date, I would have thought that they would have made some effort to get back to me and to some National Party members that they had the same discussion with about whether or not, if they're really serious, they would have got back to us with the details necessary to allow me to make an informed decision. So, Mr Speaker, I look forward to the passing of this committee stage today, despite the best efforts of the Labour Party to delay this bill inordinately and actually put students' associations in a very awkward position as they describe it. They need to take some responsibility. They need to take some responsibility themselves for their behaviour over the past 8 months. Mr Speaker, many students in New Zealand are looking forward, Mr Chair,
Honourable Heather Roy.
many students are looking forward to voluntary student membership. They are very keen. They are very keen that they have the choice, that they have the democratic choice to decide for themselves whether they want to belong or not for the Labour Party to compel them to do so.
Mr Hipkins, Chris Hipkins.
Thank you very much, Mr Chairman. Mr Chairman,